Hi, welcome to our virtual showroom. Whether you're looking for a chair, a bar stool, counter height, or bar height for use in a restaurant, a bar, or even your own home, you are sure to find exactly what you need right here. But you do have some questions. How are they made? Who makes them? Where are they made? What's all involved in the construction? These are all questions you're asking yourself. Let us help you answer those questions right now. Today we will follow step by step the process of how a bar stool is made. First, the worker picks out the upholstery the customer has chosen. Then the pattern pieces are drawn out on the vinyl with white sewer's chalk. There can be several pieces involved in the making of a single bar stool, and this all depends on the style that the customer has chosen. Now that the pattern pieces have been transferred to the vinyl, they are carefully cut out and the excess scraps are discarded. As you can see in the background, the warehouse tries to store as many colors of vinyls and fabrics as possible to help the production process go as smooth as possible. Once the pattern pieces are cut out, they are tagged so that they can be matched up with each individual order. From here, the order goes to the sewing department. The 3 in-house sewers are hard at work every day sewing the upholstery with their high-powered commercial sewing machines. As you can tell, they are very meticulous. Their workmanship is top-notch. When the sewers have finished their part, then it goes to the assembler. These are the 1 3/4 inch pine wood bases that are used to assemble this bar stool top. The worker sets the first part of the sewn piece on a flat platform. He makes sure that the vinyl is sitting smooth on the platform so that there are no wrinkles or creases. He then places a 2-inch piece of foam along with the 1 3/4 inch plywood on top of the vinyl. The hydraulic press comes down to hold the pieces in place. This will ensure that the pieces do not shift while the worker is assembling the seat. He then starts to pull the upholstery up the side of the bar stool seat over the padding, being very careful that there are no wrinkles or puckers. This piece is the top and the side of the bar stool seat. He then begins to attach the upholstery to the wooden base. He staples the back 2 corners first, and then the front 2 corners. He then works his way around the whole wooden base with a row of staples. The whole time he is pulling and stretching the vinyl over the edge to make sure that it is perfect. There's no skimping on staples here. He's almost finished. Once this is completed, The excess vinyl is then trimmed off and discarded. A tapping tool is used to mark the 4 holes. This will allow for the correct placement of the swivel plate. Now that the seating area is finished, it's now time to attach the backrest to the seat. A guide plate is used to ensure that the seat and the back line up correctly. As you can see, the worker checks this several times to make sure it lines up perfectly. Once he is confident, he can then attach the back to the seat, like this. He will check and double check to make sure everything is top notch. Once he feels confident that everything looks good, he taps them down to make sure that they are flush with the backrest. Then it's over to another station where the worker makes sure that the padding and vinyl are adjusted and stretched to ensure the proper positioning. This will eliminate any unwanted puckers or ripples. The worker will pull and stretch the vinyl and padding to make sure that there are no wrinkles or ripples or any imperfections. The workers take pride in what they're doing. Nothing leaves the warehouse unless it's perfect. Quality control is number 1. Once the worker is confident that the upholstery is perfectly positioned, he then staples it into place with his pneumatic stapler, all the while pulling and stretching to make sure that everything is great. There's no skimping on staples here either. When he is finished, the excess vinyl is trimmed off and discarded, and the staples are tapped down to make sure that they are flush with the wooden base. Now we are on the way to the frame department, where the worker has already begun assembling the bar stool frame. For this particular bar stool, we are using the double ring chrome frame. The assembly of this bar stool frame is very simple. It includes 4 chrome legs and 2 chrome rings. The rings are attached with bolts to the legs of the frame. The lower ring is slightly larger than the upper ring and is bolted on the outside of the legs. The upper ring is bolted on the inside of the legs. The worker inserts all 8 bolts and tightens them down with his electric screwdriver. He tightens all 8 of them and then double checks to ensure that they are tightened down sufficiently. He might double check and triple check this. Quality control here is number 1. Once this is complete, the bar stool is turned upside down and the worker starts to put on the poly glides. The purpose of these glides is to protect the floor surface from scratches. They are pounded on to make sure they are on all the way. Then the frame is leveled. All frames, no matter what style, are leveled before leaving the warehouse. Next phase is to attach the swivel plate to the frame and then to the bar stool top itself. First, the worker must turn the swivel so that it resembles a star shape. You might have to push down on the swivel and turn it to this position. This will allow you access to the 8 screw slots. The bottom plate is then attached to the frame with 4 screws. They are then tightened down by the worker. Because we are using a bucket style seat on this frame, we are using a pitch swivel. This type of swivel has a 3-degree pitch and allows the bucket to lean back just a bit for comfort. The top plate is then attached to the bottom of the seat, making sure that the front of the plate is facing towards the front of the seat. This will give you or your customer maximum comfort. If this is not done correctly, you will feel like you are leaning forward or leaning to one side or the other. If this happens, simply detach the seat and reattach it following the notations on the swivel plate. The 4 screws are then screwed down tightly by the worker. And here is the finished product, a commercial grade, US made bar stool. If you need more information or would like to see more products from our virtual showroom, just visit us at www.regalbarstools.com or simply give us a call.